Did you know NBA players once voted Tyrese Haliburton as the most overrated player in the league? Wild, right? Especially considering this is the same guy putting up 30-point double-doubles, sinking game winners over All-Stars, and carrying a 6-seed Pacers team to the Eastern Conference Finals. From getting traded in just his second season to lighting up the Bucks, Cavs, and Knicks in one playoff run, Haliburton's rise isn't just impressive. It's one of the most overlooked success stories in the NBA today. So how did a kid passed over and shipped out of Sacramento become one of the East's most dangerous players? Let's break it down. Draft day and the Sabonis trade. Let me ask you this, how does a guy with top 10 talent end up going 12th in the draft? That's exactly what happened to Tyrese Haliburton in 2020. Most scouts saw him as a lottery steal, yet team after team passed. Sacramento finally picked him up at 2.12 inches, hoping he'd mesh perfectly with De'Aaron Fox in the backcourt.
With the 12th pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select Tyrese Haliburton from Iowa State University.
Tyrese has been waiting for a while, and you think this is an absolute steal for the Kings, J.O.A.T?
I do. I think he's one of the best guards there is in the draft.
And to his credit, he hit the ground running. First game, he came off the bench and put up 12 points, 4 assists, a couple rebounds, and even a block. A few months later, he casually racked up 6 steals in a game. The talent was obvious. Then came the twist. Midway through his second season, the Kings shook things up by trading Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson to Indiana for Domantas Sabonis. And Haliburton, he was blindsided. On the flight home, he was literally swearing out loud, trying to wrap his head around it. His teammates were just as shocked. They told him straight up, they messed up. And looking back now, they were absolutely right. Because Indiana knew exactly what they were doing. Head coach Rick Carlisle called it rare. Getting a 21-year-old franchise point guard doesn't happen every day, and Haliburton didn't just live up to that label, he surpassed it. He turned the Pacers into a team people had to watch, and when someone like Paul George publicly praises your leadership and impact, that's not something you brush off. Tyrese didn't just bounce back from the trade, he turned it into fuel. Rising star in Indiana. Once he landed in Indiana, it didn't take long for people to realize this kid wasn't just good, he was different. By the time the 2022-23 season hit, he was locked in as a full-time starter, flirting with triple-doubles like it was routine. Want numbers? In his final stretch with the Kings, he was putting up 14.3 points, 7.4 assists, nearly 4 rebounds, and close to 2 steals per game. Solid, right? Now jump to Indiana. Suddenly, he's averaging 26.9 points and 12.1 assists. That's a massive leap. But it wasn't just about the stat sheet. Haliburton brought this wild blend of high IQ floor leadership and pure showmanship. One night he's slicing defenses with pinpoint passes, the next he's hitting step-back threes while smiling at the crowd. Fans couldn't get enough. He'd pull up to games in Halloween costumes, crack jokes in interviews, then go out and drop 30. That mix of fun and fire? Not something you see often. By 2024, the message was loud and clear. He wasn't just a young star, he was the team. A 2-time All-Star, the face of the franchise and the engine behind Indiana's offense. His energy was infectious, and suddenly Pacers fans weren't just watching out of habit, they were locked in, all the way. Haliburton gave them something to believe in. And even when the lights were the brightest, he still found a way to win, cracking jokes and smiling through the pressure. But before we dive into that, if you're enjoying this so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now let's keep it going. Olympic gold with Team USA. In the 2024 Paris Olympics, Haliburton earned a spot on Team USA's loaded roster. He wasn't the star of the show, more of a spark plug off the bench. But that didn't stop him from leaving a mark. Team USA went a perfect 6-0, finishing with a 98-87 win over France to bring home the gold. Haliburton played limited minutes, around 8 to 10 per game across 3 appearances, and averaged just 2.7 points. But still, a gold medal's a gold medal. And of course, Tyrese kept it real. After the win, he posted a picture of the medal with the caption, "When you ain't do none on the group project and still get an A." Classic Haliburton. Honest, funny, and still walking away with the trophy. What most people forget is this wasn't his first taste of international success. He'd already won gold at the 2019 FIBA U19 World Cup, so yeah, he's got a thing for medals. From college to the pros to the Olympics, he's been stacking wins for years. Then came the moment Haliburton stopped being just an underrated all-star and turned into a full-blown playoff killer. 2025 playoff surge. During the 2025 playoffs, Indiana rolled as the 4 seed, not exactly favorites, but Haliburton? He had other plans. First up, the Milwaukee Bucks. And even though Giannis was coming off injury, the Pacers still needed a miracle. Game 5, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, 1.3 seconds left, tie game. Haliburton drives right past Giannis and floats in the go-ahead layup. Crowd loses it. That sealed an 8-0 overtime blitz and a 119-118 win. Haliburton finished with 26 points, 10 dimes, and a whole lot of confidence. Coach Carlisle said it best. Ty hit another amazing shot to win the game. We're very fortunate. His teammates, they had no doubt. Even after some earlier misses, they kept hyping him up. "They told me we'd rely on me to hit that shot," Haliburton said. And he did. Then came the Cavs. Top seed. Donovan Mitchell on a mission, but Haliburton stepped right into the fire. Game 1, he drops 22 and buries a fourth quarter. 3 to seal the win. Game 2, tied at 117, clock ticking down, Haliburton banks in a buzzer-beating 3 from deep to steal a 121-119 win. Mitchell had 48, still wasn't enough. After the game, Haliburton just smiled. "It's the NBA. Crazier things have happened. We just find a way." Carlisle looked stunned. "You don't see this very often. Tyrese, he came through again." Each round, the pressure built. But Haliburton kept showing up. And just when everyone thought they'd plateau, guess what? The Knicks were next. And that series, that was personal. By the time the Pacers hit the Eastern Conference Finals, the spotlight was burning. And at first, it looked like Haliburton might fizzle out under it. Game 1 against the Knicks, he was cold, just 6 points through 3 quarters. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson was doing what Jalen Brunson does, torch defenses. And suddenly, Indiana's playoff magic was in trouble. Down 0-2, momentum slipping, everyone asking the same thing. Was the ride over? Haliburton said nope. In Game 3, with everything on the line, he dropped 35 points and dished 7 assists, carrying the Pacers to a gritty 111-1-6 win. And just when the Knicks tried to claw back, Andrew Nembhard buried a 31 gooser with 16 seconds left. Ice cold. That shot saved the series, but it was Game 4 where Haliburton completely snapped. And we're talking history books level. 32 points, 12 boards, 15 assists, 4 steals, 0 turnovers. That line had never been seen in the NBA playoffs before. Indiana didn't just win, they smashed New York by 32. The Pacers were suddenly up 3-1, and the entire East had to stop and take notice. This team wasn't supposed to be here. But Haliburton had changed the script. He didn't just belong on this stage, he owned it. One by one, he outplayed the league's top names, Giannis, Mitchell, Brunson, and he did it with poise, playmaking, and pure belief. And now? History. Haliburton just led the Pacers to their first NBA Finals appearance since 2000, closing out the Knicks in Game 6 with a 125-108 win. After struggling in Game 5 and going scoreless in the first quarter, he showed up when it mattered most, dropping 21 points and doing exactly what leaders are supposed to do. Here's the wild stat. Indiana is now 7-0 this postseason when Haliburton scores over 20. Every time he gets rolling, they win. Simple as that. But is he overrated? Overrated or overachieving? In early 2025, an anonymous NBA player poll slapped Tyrese Haliburton with a brutal label, most overrated. Out of 90 players who responded to the Athletics survey, 13 of them, about 14.4%, named Haliburton, despite the league having 450 players total. Some of that might have come from his slow start to the season while dealing with injuries, but the Heat also followed a harsh podcast rant from Hall of Fame guard Tim Hardaway Sr., who dismissed Haliburton, saying he thinks he's all that. Meanwhile, Cade Cunningham was getting love as the league's most underrated, and Haliburton took the hit. For a guy who had just helped carry Indiana to the Eastern Conference Finals, that kind of shot hurt. But instead of backing down, Tyrese fired up. Right after eliminating the Bucks, he tweeted two simple words: "Overrate that." It blew up instantly. Puma jumped in and turned it into a t-shirt. Sports Illustrated nailed it when they said the poll has really helped Haliburton play with a fire in his belly, and they weren't lying. He wasn't just draining big shots. He was hyping up teammates, waving off defenders, and clowning hecklers mid-game. Every playoff moment felt personal. And Haliburton made sure the whole league felt it. That calm under pressure? That wasn't luck. That was work. That was edge. He took the doubt, bottled it, and used it to put Indiana back on the map. Now, calling him overrated sounds like a bad joke. He's dropping career highs, setting up game winners, and nearly pulled the Pacers into their first finals in 25 years. And this is still the same kid who slipped to 12th in the draft. The same kid Sacramento traded midseason. Every time he's been doubted, he's come back swinging. Louder, better, and with receipts. Off the court, he keeps it real. His dad, John, is a basketball ref. His mom, Brenda, doesn't miss a game. His family's tight with cousins like former All-Star Eddie Jones and current Magic guard Jalen Suggs. But Tyrese, he's carving out his own lane. So, overrated? Not even close. Try underestimated. Try unstoppable. If this postseason showed us anything, it's that Haliburton's only just getting started. No matter how far the Pacers go, that overrate that moment is already one of the defining lines of 2025. When fans are chanting it, Puma is printing it, and Haliburton's owning it, that's not just a comeback, that's a brand. That's the mark of a star. So what do you think? Is he already the best point guard in the East? Or are we just seeing the start of something even bigger? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to G.O.A.T Report, and turn on notifications for more deep dives just like this.